welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing tips for shopping on Teachers Pay Teachers. I've been shopping TPT longer than I've been selling there, so I just wanted to share some quick tips and things that you should know about that you might not. So starting with the very basics, the thing with Teachers Pay Teachers is you are purchasing resources that come from sellers that teach in different states with different student populations, so it's not always going to be tailored to fit your exact needs. So look products over carefully before you buy them and just be prepared to have to adapt or supplement things. There have been many times where I purchased an activity like task cards or stations activity, and there were questions in there that we either don't cover because of our state standards, or it was on a topic that we do cover, but it went way deeper than my students and I need to go. So I've had to remove those task cards or that station from that activity, which meant that I had to make quick little changes on the activity that I had before I could give it to my students. So don't forget that you are a professional and you are the expert on your students. You know what they need best. And sometimes that means you might have to make some slight tweaks to a product that you purchase. The next one is about copyright. Make sure you read the terms of use. It should be included with every resource that you download from Teachers Pay Teachers. Typically, the main thing is that you cannot make copies and put them up on the internet for your students, although now you're seeing different stipulations where it's okay to upload it into, say, Google Classroom for students to be able to access them during this time. But you can't just put it up anywhere on the internet where just anyone could get access to it. You also are typically prohibited from sharing that resource either by making copies and giving it to another teacher or by sharing that file. If you need additional copies for other teachers, like in your building or your department, there is a place where you can buy additional licenses where you're buying the product for other people to use and it's at a discounted rate. One of the biggest tips I have to share for this whole video is to read the description and read it thoroughly. I've been burned by this so many times where I didn't read it all the way through, or there was something specific I was looking for and assumed it would be there because of just the topic being what it was. I thought, of course that'll be there, like why would they skip that? And lo and behold, you buy the product, it's not there. So make sure you read the description. If something that you're looking for is not represented in the description, you can ask the seller a question. So there will be a link that says ask a question. Click on that, ask what it is that you're looking for, if that's in there, or if it's something that they were planning to add anytime soon, and the seller will probably get back to you. I can't speak for everyone. I try to get back to them in 24 hours if I'm able, but Teachers Pay Teachers is really good about, if you have the app, you get a notification that someone's asked you a question and you get an email so that you know that it's there. As I'm filming this, it's the end of July 2020. Teachers Pay Teachers has created a new way to take PDF files and convert them into digital resources for teachers. But there's been a glitch where there is a little banner that shows up underneath resources that says digital if the seller has chosen this option. The thing is that it's doing that to all of their resources that have PDFs, so they might not be totally digital yet. I've just had a friend kind of say that that happened to her. So again, make sure you read the descriptions. So when you're shopping on Teachers Pay Teachers, typically you type something into the search bar and you can go through all the products that are listed with those words in the title. Sometimes you get crazy number of results, like thousands and thousands of results. So on the left side of your screen, there is a column with filters, and there you can filter by grade, which is super helpful for geometry. I've looked for things for geometry and it's covered in like 4th grade or elementary school, but that's not suitable for high school. So there is a spot to filter for grades, filter for type of activities. You can filter for price ranges. And then those filters will filter out the ones you don't need and help you narrow down your search. Let's say you land on a particular seller's store. There are two things that I want you to pay attention to. The first one is the custom categories. So again, that's on the left and it will appear above the usual filters that they have in the general search. The custom categories are super helpful because they tell you what a seller is about and what they offer in their store. The other thing that's very helpful in an individual store is the search bar that is specific to that store. I always have to double check this because I've gone back to the regular search bar by accident too many times. But at the top of your screen, there is your general search bar to search for whatever it is you're looking for. When you are in a seller's store, there is a second search bar that appears on the right hand side of the row where you see the products, ratings and reviews, ask a question, and the seller's profile. That search bar does exactly what it says. It allows you to search just within that seller's store. It's very helpful for a seller that has hundreds of products. This is another tip that I did not know for a while. If you go up to where your profile is in the top right hand corner of the website and you click on the little down arrow, you will get a bunch of options, but look at your purchases. And under where it says My Purchases, you get a toggle between your free resources and paid resources, and then you can filter that list to see recently purchased items, to see them alphabetically, recently updated, and recently downloaded. The one that I want to talk about is recently updated. Anytime a TPT seller makes an update to a product that you've already purchased, you get that update for free. So every now and then you want to go back and check on your previous purchases to see if anything has been updated. And then you can re-download and you have a fresh new product almost, and you didn't have to pay anything. Okay, so we got to the juicy part, the sales. When it comes to site-wide sales, you can count on one sale per season. The spring sale typically coincides with Teacher Appreciation Week. The summer sale coincides with back to school, typically that's in August. The fall sale has been coinciding with Black Friday, but the winter sale is a bit unpredictable. So the last two that I can firmly recall, that sale coincided with Valentine's Day, but that has moved around and it's coincided with the Super Bowl and other different things, or it was just kind of random. The way that the site-wide sale works is Teachers Pay Teachers announces 2 days for the sale. The sellers on Teachers Pay Teachers have the option to reduce their store by 20%. So it's completely up to the seller how much they discount their store, and typically on Teachers Pay Teachers, it's 20% off or less. What Teachers Pay Teachers does for this sale is they actually add an additional 5% off, but you have to use a code. So pay attention to the code. It's plastered all over the website. It's in banners everywhere. So it's kind of hard to miss, but during those sales, you add your items to the cart. If the seller had them on sale, they're discounted automatically, and then there's a spot to put in a code, and when you put in your code, Teachers Pay Teachers takes off an additional 5%. Aside from those seasonal sales, sellers may choose to discount their whole store or select resources 20% or less anytime that they wish. Those random sales could be like additional back to school sales. They could be, it's my birthday, I'm having a sale. I did one in June for my TPT anniversary. It just depends on the seller and what they choose. There are two ways to catch these random sales. The first is to follow that seller on Teachers Pay Teachers. When you're in a seller's store, next to their profile picture, there's a star that says follow me. If you follow that person, when you log into Teachers Pay Teachers, you will see one of two things. If they have released a new product, that will be there for you to see. And if they are having a sale, that will also appear in your regular TPT. I don't want to say the word dashboard. That means something different to sellers. But just when you open up TPT at first, you get recommendations from Teachers Pay Teachers. Sales and new resources from the sellers that you follow will pop up there. The other way to catch these sales is to follow your favorite sellers on social media. So pay attention to the descriptions on their products. Sometimes they will link their social media there, and in their terms of use. If they're on social media, it should show up in the terms of use. They could be on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. If you're following them on whatever platform you prefer and they're having a sale, they should be announcing it there on their social media. So that's another way to know what they're doing. It's also a good way to know if they are updating any resources or if they have any new resources out. The other benefits of following your favorite sellers on social media is that they have invented hashtag sales. Hashtag sales are like bonus sales on Teachers Pay Teachers. They just work a little bit differently. So essentially what happens is Teachers Pay Teachers sellers decide to form a group of themselves, and they choose a hashtag and they put that hashtag into the name of their resource, and then they discount that resource. And it depends on the hashtag, but there is a way to change your discounts so that you could discount up to 50%. And it's something that you could only do on individual products. Like if I wanted to put my whole store 50% off, I'm not able to do that easily. I would have to do every single resource one by one. So these hashtag sales usually could be 1 product, 2 product, up to 3 products more if that's what they're going for. It depends on the group and the rules set within the group. But with the hashtag sales, you are going into Teachers Pay Teachers, typing that hashtag into the search bar, and then that pulls up all the resources from all the sellers participating in that sale. And again, those sales should be advertised on their social media. And I have another money saving tip for you. Do you know what TPT credits are? TPT credits are what you earn when you leave feedback on resources. So for every dollar that you spent on that resource, when you leave feedback, you get that many credits. So let's say I had a resource that I purchased for $5 and then I left feedback. I now have 5 Teachers Pay Teachers credits. When I leave feedback enough to earn 20 credits, that will discount $1 off of a future purchase in Teachers Pay Teachers. So if you're looking for resources to leave feedback on, go to your My Purchases like we discussed before and look for ones that usually flags it for you so that you know that you could leave feedback. Teachers Pay Teachers has changed how feedback works a little bit. You can't leave feedback right away because people were leaving feedback like, I can't wait to use this. The thing is with the feedback is it should be helpful to future buyers. It's like when you find a hair product that you really, really love, you tell your friends about it in the hopes that it'll help them out. That's the point of leaving feedback. If you really love something, you want to let other people know so that they can also benefit from the same thing. The flip side is if you really don't love something, you can also be giving them a warning that, you know, this didn't work out for me for whatever reason, so be careful before you buy it. I hate to be negative, but it's the reality. So make sure that when you leave feedback, it's on something that you've actually used before, because again, I can't wait to use this does not help anybody. Try to make sure that you're leaving thoughtful feedback, and if there's something that can be improved, talk about it in your feedback. That will help the seller. What's really frustrating that a lot of people have been seeing is that people are leaving feedback where they say, great, and that's all they say, they don't say anything else, but then out of 5 stars, they're only leaving 4. So it just makes you wonder, why did it not get 5 stars? Like if it was great. And it's just, again, not helpful to the buyer, not helpful to the seller who would potentially probably want to improve it for future use. Again, just try to leave helpful feedback when you do leave feedback. And that's all the tips that I have for today. If you have any additional tips of your own that I did not share, please leave them in the comments below to help anyone else out. And as always, thanks for watching.